He literally cannot help himself, can he? He can't help but sit on Lolicon Hill, chucking himself on sword after sword after sword. But guess what, guys? Thank you for this. We have got a bit of tip 10. Yo, Nicholas is in chat. He's going to be happy. You have the timeline all out of whack. Do I? I thought, I mean, obviously some of that stuff I think was new, but I think there was some knowledge of Chris's connection with Shadman prior to that. Like, the stuff not all of that came out after the Sunny V2 video, right? Anyway, let's get some tip 10 in here.
All right, guys. So as you know, there's been a lot of people on the internet making a big deal about the fact that Chris Tyson from the Mr. Beast crew came out as gender non-conforming recently, and they're trying to like make a lot of outrage and drama surrounding somebody basically just trying to live their life. But it's gotten to the point where people started digging into like old tweets of theirs and stuff like that to find some reason to cancel them. And the latest thing is that apparently Chris Tyson is a pedophile because he made some edgy jokes about lolly and kids.
Oh, yeah. I've watched this before. I mean, look. Well, I don't want to say in fairness, because there is some stuff that was out there that was pretty bad as it was. But, I mean, some of the dude. He literally cannot help himself, can he? He cannot help but throw himself on Lolicon sword. He can't help but sit on Lolicon Hill, chucking himself on sword after sword after sword.
Now, I got to be honest, they're not the kind of jokes that I personally would make, but we've literally gotten to the point where making edgy jokes makes you a pedophile. I kid you not. That's how low the bar for pedophilia has become. At this point, give it like a month or two, and you'll be considered a pedophile just for breathing the same air as children.
Oh my god, that laugh at the end as well. There's another one. There's another one, dude. There's another one. There's another one, dude. Like the fucking cow noise. Oh my god. No, I think this is preserve tube or something. Did he take it down?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
So he's got access to some of the tweets here. While I wouldn't make these jokes myself, we've apparently reached a point where making any jokes equals PDFilia. Boy oh boy, we have really lowered the bar at this point. Before you know it, breathing the same air as children will make you a PDF. Dude, it's the same joke as his video. Well, you know. I guess why not make use of it twice?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Anyone covering the Jimmy Zhang allegations? I've got no idea what that is, but thank you for the super chat. After going through her entire Twitter, they have only 2 jokes from 2016 to show for. Pathetic. Oh, well, now there's more. Dame Pesos. How would you respond to the latest video? Now we got a few more recent tweets even. What do we think about that? They started to cry about the guy before they saw those tweets anyway. It's all a lie. They don't believe any of it anyways. Even the bit about the Shadman drawing was apparently an edgy bit. Oh my god, dude. Oh, it was just an edgy bit, guys. Oh, me putting up that image, that despicable image on my wall, just an edgy bit. I was just doing a joke. It's the May. Oh, sorry, okay. You know what I meant. Chris and Mr. Beast, as an edgy bit, was begging for Lolicon. Was begging for Shadman to draw Lolicon. Begging for Shadman to draw Lolicon imagery of a 10-year-old character. Just a little edgy bit. To be fair, probably didn't know about that back then. But dude, come on. Why go out on a limb like this for someone?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Sunny 2 is a lazy autistic shitter. In this case, after the shit he threw at the wall had fallen off. Culture war brainlets are pointing at the skid marks like it's something relevant.
Yo, Spencer Howard, based and true, correct. They are pointing at skid marks, I agree. It was supposed to be a cringy joke. Lol, granted, given his history, you won't catch me buying Shadman art. But you got to remember, in 2016, a lot of people liked and supported his art. It was a weird time. Well, I mean, some of these tweets are from later. Dude. No, don't apologise. I appreciate you sending it to me. That wasn't about you. That was just me just being concerned of not being able to 100% confirm it, you know? Fuck me, dude. And yet also, my understanding of it is Shadman was always exceptionally controversial. This idea that there was this great love for Shadman consistently, I think maybe very early on, there was like maybe more support for him, but I think it quickly became apparent that he was a completely degenerate freak. Okay, what is this?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Wait, I see potential in
Bro.
this. Tipster can go and cover pedophile cases, and say guys it's just an edgy bit.
Thank you for the 333. You're wrong. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'll take the L immediately. Shadman, one of the biggest discords. Watch the Turkey Tom Shadman videos. A lot more creators liked him back then. Well, I think we can get to that. But I think we got another bit of tip tent here too. But first of all, Nicholas DeRailio sent me something. Oh, okay. This is from the drama back then. How far will Tipster go to defend people who don't deserve it?
Also, Chris from Mr. Beast, right? He got exposed for posting lolly. The artist is the same artist that drew my daughter.
At the time, Keemstar's daughter was only 7 years old. On November 18th, 2016, Chud continued his trend of drawing real-life lolly art when he drew Lieutenant Corbus posed sexually with a microphone. Keep in mind that this girl was new to being a celebrity at the time, and once again, was just 11 years old. In a post from October 5th, 2010, Chud writes that he was forced to remove all pornographic images from his site because of laws in Switzerland that prohibited depicting underage people in art.
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for Mr. Beast's brand.
Now
Please
let's see what Tipster thinks.
Alright guys, so as you know, there's been a lot of people on the internet making a big deal about the fact that Chris Tyson from the Mr. Beast crew came out as gender non-conforming recently, and they're trying to like make a lot of outrage and drama surrounding somebody basically just trying to live their life. But it's gotten to the point where people started digging into like old tweets of theirs and stuff like that to find some reason to cancel them. And the latest thing is that apparently Chris Tyson is a pedophile because he made some edgy jokes about lolly and kids. Now, I gotta be honest, they're not the kind of jokes that I personally would make, but we've literally gotten to the point where making edgy jokes makes you a pedophile. I kid you not, that's how low the bar for pedophilia has become. At this point, give it like a month or two, and you'll be considered a pedophile just for breathing the same air as children.
We did it,
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Nick knows the best way to deal with it. Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Oh, man. I've been craving some tip tent. This is an older video, though. What is this? Okay, let's give this a go. Published on the 17th of May, 2023. Okay. Yo, a little bit of classic tip tent. Tip tent retrospective.
Welcome
Let's go.
Take my money and use it to wipe the tears of your US liberal/progressive friends since the coronation of Donald J. Trump is right around the corner.
Thank you for the sub.
Back in the news. And I know most of you guys probably know who EDP445 is, but in case you don't know, I thought we would take a quick look at this old article from Dexerto that kind of goes into who EDP445 is. Essentially, he was a really big YouTuber on the platform, one of the OGs, right? He used to be infamous for his videos about him being like, you know, an Eagles fan, and he did all these like rant videos and stuff like that, right? And it was one of those things where like he was a pretty popular YouTuber. I didn't watch him myself. Every once in a while his videos would show up in my recommended and stuff like that, but I was
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, thank you. I don't think we need to watch his take on EDP. So, Chris stuff at 10:46. Okay, let's skip forward to that. Skip forward to that a little bit. Skip, 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 skip. Skip, skip, skip. There we go. I thought he was going to defend EDP. I think he's criticizing EDP for using...
Is friends with somebody named, I think his name is Shadman,
Oh, wait, hang on, wait. Go back. We skipped too far ahead. Let's see what EDP says.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
Yo, son,
thank you for the $2.
Me personally, that is some suspect ass freak fucking shit.
Why is that suspect? I don't know why that's suspect. Why is that an issue? I don't.
Where I'm getting the whole child porn shit at is Chris Tyson is friends with somebody named, I think his name is Chadman, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, he's bringing up the Shad Bay stuff. I don't know if I've heard anything about Shadman and Chris being friends. I know there was a controversy involving the fact that Chris allegedly owned, like there was a picture he posted on Twitter of him owning like a piece of artwork by Shadman. And I've seen the artwork in question. I'm not going to show it on stream for obvious reasons. But the artwork looked like it depicted someone who was of adult age. It looked like somebody who was very petite, kind of like a
oh my god,
Belle Delphine type figure. It might.
Bro, why would you go to Belle Delphine who absolutely pedo baits? That is one of the worst things you would use as a defense. Belle Delphine is criticizable for that too, but also, no, it was someone that looked underage.
Might have even been a drawing of Belle Delphine, I'm not really sure. But it was something to that degree, right? And so, I mean, my issue with that was Shadman's a very controversial figure, okay? Very controversial. They have drawn some really fucked up shit in the past, okay? And so I will say this.
They've drawn some really fucked up shit in the past. Yeah. Lolicon imagery, cartoon depictions of sexualized children based on real children. Yeah, fucked up shit. Bro, I find it a bit annoying when people do the thing where it's like you're not condemning it hard enough. But bro, we're not talking about some fucking frivolous thing. This is insane shit that isn't really covered by fucked up shit, I don't think. Okay, but let's see. Fuck me, man. It's crazy. Have I seen this before on stream? I don't think I've seen this on stream. I can't remember, man. Dude, I'm just trying to think of all the times that Tipster's fallen on the lolly sword. Have I covered this one before? I don't know, maybe.
I wouldn't be supporting Shadman. I don't know if he purchased that artwork or just printed it out or something like that, but I wouldn't be signal boosting or supporting Shadman's work because of his history. But either way, like I've seen the artwork and I don't personally think the artwork is anything questionable. It's just the connection to the artist in question. It's like, yeah, I would not be supporting that guy. Just being honest. Just being completely honest, I would not be supporting Shadman. But I don't know. I don't think they're friends. If they are, that's news to me. I think he just had some of his art.
Now you say I sweep. This is next level sweeping. Dude, it's fucking wild to me. Vosh thought it was a short goal. Yeah, it's the same level, isn't it? And I'll tell you what this is, by the way. This is the trans defense. This is the only reason that Tipster... Well, mind you saying that. I guess Tipster... It's not his first time doing this. But I do think an element of the reason for Tipster's forthright defense is linked to the fact that Chris is trans. And it's like, oh no, don't say bad stuff about the trans person. Did he say he doesn't support the artist, but the artwork isn't sus? Well, what he said is that that image that was on Chris Tyson's wall was of an adult that looked young, like Belle Delphine, which is a shitty defense in and of itself. When it's not just a young-looking adult, it is, a sexualized image of a child. And also, I mean, obviously, maybe he didn't know about some of the tweets that were shown in the video, but it's pretty clear that it wasn't just like a cursory passing. Like, there's now evidence of Chris from Mr. Beast, begging Shadman to draw sexualized images of a 10-year-old character.
And Chris Tyson and Shadman, excuse me.
JFA in the chat says Keemstar's family member was featured in his art. Yeah, Shadman had done a very inappropriate drawing of Keemstar's daughter, which is not okay. Obviously not okay. But yeah,
that is not okay. That's inappropriate. I just find it so insufferable when people are like, condemn harder. But like, no, in this case, you are not condemning fucking hard enough, bro. You're sweeping by downplaying it.
This guy, yeah.
They're into lolicon.
So that's what we're talking about here, chat. Lolly. Shadman has
Tipster specialist topic.
Legitimately drawn Lolly. We don't like Lolly. Lolly is not good stuff. It's basically drawn depictions of children in sexual situations, and that's why Shadman is a controversial figure, because they've drawn that type of artwork. Oh boy.
And if you guys don't know what lolicon is basically my the way I'm gonna describe it. Lolicon is basically Japanese manga that is little kids getting fucked.
Kaylin in the chat says, from what I understand, the context of it was a 2016 edgy joke that's bad and unfunny, but bad in the way a lot of content creators were bad.
It's an edgy joke! Oh my god, dude! An edgy joke. Drawing a sexualized image of a real-life child is just an edgy joke to some of these people.
Bad and overly edgy. Had to do with the Keem art. Yeah, it was something like that. I was going to get to that, but yeah, we're going to talk about some jokes because he brings up some jokes that Chris made in the past. And here's the thing. The jokes in question, I would not have made, but I think people forget how edgy the internet was like back in the day. People said some really fucked up shit.
Okay, again, we're doing this thing where we're giving cover for actual fucked up behavior by talking about stuff being jokes. Okay? And I think there was probably people that laughed about it because it was to do with Keemstar. But the fundamental act is not a joke, right? Shadman was drawing it because he clearly had some sort of arousal from drawing sexualized images of children. And then on top of that as well, people were, obviously, Chris from Mr. Beast wanted to have more lolicon that he drew to consume. But people were looking at that, deriving sexual pleasure from it. Yeah, this is a fucking vacuum. Woo! He's got the big vacuum out. He's vacuum up like crazy, like you've never seen. Yeah, absolutely unreal levels of sweeping, dude.
Thing was off limits. Race jokes, gay jokes. People would make pedophilia jokes. Like, it was a really crazy time.
Also, the other thing as well is, it is true that there was the r/jailbait subreddit is probably a good example of this, right? Where there was this kind of leeway given to what was obviously completely unacceptable sexualized perspectives towards, the idea of it was, are they underage? Aren't they underage? And stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that you look back on and you think, okay, well, in the context of the time, like a race joke or something, whatever. But with stuff like that, I'm like, no, that was always fucked up then and now. It's just some people were permissive of it. And some of those people are probably pedos, So yeah, it's like people were essentially getting getting away with not having a level of scrutiny on that behavior. Because I think if you were to go to like a number of normies and say, hey, there's this forum on the internet and they post images of women that are extremely young and in some cases potentially underage in a sexualized fashion, right? I'm pretty sure that most people would look at that and go, that's fucking grotesque and so on, right? Looping. No, I'm not looping at all. I don't think I've ever made that point before, ever in my entire time streaming. In that way, at least. The amount of people that came out to defend that jailbait subreddit was demented. Yes, it was, absolutely. And I think because there wasn't the level of scrutiny, yeah, that's why people kind of got away with it. But it was always fucked. Even at the time, it was fucked. It's just the internet was I mean, you know. Unpause. Okay. I'm going to actually not pause. And I tell you what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to ban you. That's what we're going to do. Boom. Easy peasy. There we go. I could have just clicked the unpause button, but instead I chose to ban you. Good luck.
For the internet. And like, you know, I'm not justifying those jokes, right? They're really tasteless jokes. But they were jokes. Like, there were people that were trying to make it out like, oh, Chris is a pedophile because he made these jokes, right? Chris is, and I really think that like on the internet nowadays, we've really lowered the bar for what the requirement is to qualify as a pedophile. Right? Like, we've really lowered the bar of what actually makes someone a pedophile. I don't think Chris is a pedophile for the things we're about to see here in a little bit. I think the jokes...
Yeah, I think one, maybe two instances of edgy humor, maybe. But when it's... I mean, dude, I just think there's one thing to say words. It's another altogether to have an image of it on your wall. How is that an edgy meme? What part of that is an edgy joke? Printing off an image like that and putting it up. Where's the punchline? Okay, like, what's funny about that? Like, what is the most likely explanation here? That he did it as a bit of a meme, or that he did it because he elicited some sort of pleasure out of the image? Well, I think that in and of itself, I wouldn't even say, you know, more definitively, they're a PDF file. But all the stuff we've seen in that other video. Now, look, to be fair to Tipster, there is some stuff that we've seen, right, that maybe Tipster wasn't aware of, but I think there was enough out there by the time Tipster made this content that I don't think you would go this hard to defend someone, right? I think to defend this hard is retarded. I mean, it's Tipster after all, but it's totally retarded to defend this hard when you could just have a position of, you know, there is some troubling stuff. I don't know exactly how I'd frame it, but it is troubling. Like, there's concerning stuff here, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, you could not necessarily go fully on board with the worst of the claims that you're hearing about the person, but you would at least recognize the severity of what is there to give yourself room to make a stronger condemnation if more stuff comes out, which now, yes, more stuff has come out that paints an even worse picture and paints an image of someone who likely has some sort of attraction to children that you can't explain away with just jokes.
Were tasteless. I think his support of Shadman, not great, but I don't think he's a pedophile. I think more of the people who were trying to use that to position Chris as a pedophile were more playing into the whole trans people are groomers and trans people are pedophiles narrative.
Wall was the cum shot stains on the carpet under it. Duh.
Okay, thank you for the 333. Listen, the thing is, okay, whilst some people that are criticizing are not differentiating that out, Tipster's not doing that either himself. He's so, this is what I was saying, he's letting the trans stuff influence his defense. You shouldn't do that. You got to separate that out.
You know, that sort of thing, which is not okay, in my opinion. But anyway, let's continue.
In getting sexually abused and sexually fucking molested by goddamn by their older parents through anime, Japanese manga, and the fucking weird ass, freak ass emo comic.
Damn, EDP, you talk about it like you know what it is.
Dude!
Jeez.
There's no way that... What the fuck? And now he's like turning it on EDP. And saying like EDP is wrong for knowing what it is. Bro, if EDP is wrong for knowing what it is, what do you make of someone that prints it out and puts it on their wall and posts it on Twitter? Dude, fuck, it's unreal. This guy's unbelievable.
book type shits. You know what I mean? You know how like you get like the manga, the Japanese manga, little comics and shit.
Caitlin in the chat says it's a conversation stopper just meant to shut down someone they don't like. A lot of the folks calling Chris out have been or are guilty of the same, or in EDP's case, worse. You know what's really interesting is like so many people were on Chris about the Shadman thing, which again, like I said, I'm being honest, supporting Shadman, not a good look. But a lot of people seem to forget that that generation of like commentary community over on YouTube at the time, and not even just the commentary community, but other communities on YouTube, there were a lot of people who were supporting Shadman back then when Shadman was getting deplatformed. If I remember correctly, their web hosts shut down their website, and a lot of people were like, look, we're not the biggest fan of the art that Shadman does, but free speech, though. We got to support the free speech. You know, the guy who draws, you know, drawings.
Wait a second. People are saying lies. Is it lies? I thought there was support on a free speech basis for the website staying up. Thank you for the $2. I mean, it's obviously a diversion in this case. I don't think Tips is really the right messenger for this. But yeah, then, I mean, also, people defended him. The thing that's crazy to me is the defense of using a child as a source for your art, which I'm assuming is, you know, like, that's wild. That's not, that goes beyond just a free speech argument. The thing is, though, it's painting too broad a brush. Like, who specifically are we talking about that defended it? You know, it's like, I'm sure there were some people that did, but this idea that everyone that's going after Chris from Mr. Beast, I mean, you know, it's very, dude, this
like
this
kids
thing,
getting fucked.
It's this, what? It's this thing. I don't know what to call it, but it's the idea that you paint the entirety of the opposition as having the same perspective on something, and then you get to do what you want to them, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, you know, oh, well, people were defending them. Well, individuals were defending them, and were probably doing it, you know, en masse. But that doesn't then justify this, right? Like, your defense is not justified by the fact that people did something that was stupid back a few years ago in regards to this. People like Elvis the Alien and Bionic Pig. I don't even know who Bionic Pig is.
We got to support that guy. Literally. That is not a bandwagon I would have jumped on at the time, but a lot of people jumped on that fucking bandwagon. As Caitlin in the chat says, a lot of people defended Shad back in the day. A lot of prolific artists.
Also, wait a second. Hang on. There's another point to be made here too. Okay. There is a difference between person A, who isn't Chris from Mr. Beast, that is making solely a perspective of, I'm against their web host getting taken down because of some fucking free speech principle, and Chris from Mr. Beast, who is clearly consuming and enjoying the content. So I feel that there's a distinction to be made there, where you could say, okay, you're defending it on retarded grounds, whatever you want to say about it, but that isn't the same as Chris from Mr. Beast, who is clearly enjoying and consuming the content, right? So I feel like this is an element where there's like this kind of deception happening, where it's like, well, Chris is not just defending it on some principle, it's consumption and enjoyment of the content, which speaks to, you know, their perspective on this, that goes beyond just a free speech principle, right? Yeah, is someone saying, oh, I don't like the idea the web host is getting taken down, versus, oh, I don't like the web host getting taken down because I like looking at the images and want more, actually.
Get thumbnail art from him, and this is true, he did do a lot of thumbnail art for YouTubers and stuff like that.
Like that, you know what I mean? That's basically what the fuck lolicon.
Wait, what is this? One of Chris Tyson's deleted Reddit posts. Pixar's Incredibles 2 trailer. Shadman is going to love this. 6 years ago. Oh boy. Seems like every stone you overturn, there's some new horror to see. Is that a baby in the image in the preview of the thing? You watch a trailer and your first thought is, "Oh, that lolly artist I like. I wonder what they're gonna do with this." Oh my god, dude. Yeah, clearly he was a big fan. Exactly. It's so obvious that it's not the same as someone making some, out of principle I'll defend this. It's not the fucking same thing, dude. Clearly was fucking salivating at the idea of it. Wait, how credible is this though? Because this is 4chan. In terms of like, what is this? Okay, I can't. I don't know if I can. Listen, thank you for linking that. I'm not sure on that though. By all means, click the link. I don't know how legitimate that is, but it kind of fits.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Feel me? By the way, lolicon is actually illegal in the United States. Any adult...
Is that true? I actually don't know that. If I'm being honest, the really super like fucked up shit probably should be. If I'm being completely honest, it probably should be. But is it actually illegal? I don't know. That's a genuine question. I don't know.
Oh, that supports this nasty ass...
I would imagine in some places it probably is, right? In some states or something it probably is. Nuclear Winter saying no, it's not. Void King is saying no. Okay, so it looks like it's not. But I'll be honest. The really fucked up shit probably should be.
Disgusting fucking shit. Something is fucking wrong with you. Go get fucking help. We gotta keep our fucking kids and our youth away from motherfuckers like Chris Tyson and Shadman and whoever the fuck supports goddamn lolicon. I have a hard time getting my fucking dick hard when I'm watching motherfucking porn and bitches are 20 years old.
Does he actually expect us to believe that? Motherfucker, you got busted trying to meet with a 13-year-old, and you expect us to believe that you can't get aroused by 20-year-olds because they're too young? Get the fuck out of here with that noise. Pedophile! He actually expects us to believe that, chat? He actually expects us to believe that he's not attracted to 20-year-olds because they're too young when he literally tried to meet up with a third...
I mean, Tibbs is on the money here. You can't really disagree with this. If you disagree with what Tibbs is saying here, you're doing so because you got Tipster derangement syndrome.
18-year-old to have sex? Come on, dude. You can't think people are that dumb. You really, really, really can't.
19, 20 years old. I'm like, fuck that, man. I need a bitch that got some fucking wrinkles upon her fucking pussy, man. I'm into that motherfucking granny porn, man. I'm into motherfucking MILFs. I'm into cougars, you know what I mean?
I mean, MILFs are pretty nice, but we know that's bullshit when it comes to you, okay? We know you love little girls.
Do you touch kids?
Because you literally tried to meet up with a little girl for sex, okay?
Like, bitch, you need a bush on your motherfucking pussy in order for me to...
Starlight Horror says in the chat, remember, it wasn't for sex, it was for a cupcake. That sounds like a cope to me. Chat, do you think that sounds like a cope? The whole cupcake thing, like that was a cope, right? He realized he had been busted. And so he's like,
wow.
No, I wasn't here for sex. So? I wasn't here to diddle a kid.
Do you touch kids?
I was here for a cupcake. Emmy in the chat says that sounds like a cope. Kevin Copium. Looks like you all agree that sounds like a cope. So you know how we do around here when someone is coping.
You are coping and saving. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seeing. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping.
Nippy's on fire, dude.
Coping so hard.
You done?
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so he actually expects us to believe that, chat. He's not aroused by 20-year-old girls because they're too young.
To get off to that shit. I just don't understand how adults get off to little kids. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Tell us about that, EDP. You're the one who not only tried to meet with a 13-year-old for sex, but when you were grilled by the predator poachers about whether or not you were attracted to, prepubescent.
Yeah, honestly, we've kind of gleaned what we can from the tip 10, but I'll watch a bit longer. And then we'll do this rabbit hole. There's another angle we'll look at here, and then we'll get back on track to the other stuff I want to talk about today.
Pubescent minor, girls, you're the one who admitted to it. You're the one who literally admitted to it. So why don't you let us in on it? Why don't you explain to us how a grown-ass man could be attracted to a child, because you literally are attracted to children? You expect us to, but you know what this is? This is like a virtue signal as an attempt to basically restore his own image, right? He's virtue signaling to try and convince people that, hey guys, I know everybody thinks I'm a pedophile. I know everybody thinks I'm a pedophile, but I'm totally not a pedophile, chat. I'm totally not a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's just going in on EDP, which is, fine, I guess, but I don't really care about that. It was mainly for the Shadman stuff, which seems to have moved on. Oh, hey, Smaggle, how's it going? I'll be honest here, Chud. The Chris Tyson hit piece video is full of missing context that only gooners get. Right, okay. Okay, as we're on the topic, we'll do this as well. This is new law. This is new ground for me. I've not seen this before. Colossal confronts Shadman about drawing lolly of Keemstar's daughter.
I'm gonna make sure the audio is good.
Hello? Can you hear me okay?
Hello, Colossal. Yes, I can.
No problem being on the stream. Yeah, apologies if I slur my words a bit. I just kind of got up a few hours ago.
No problem.
All this shit. Let me just be very clear. I was not calling you a pedophile. I was not calling you sexually attracted to children. What I did was say what you did by drawing this picture, putting it in context on your website with a bunch of other pictures of little naked girls, was fucked. Especially considering it's Keemstar's daughter. He doesn't deserve that. Why target his daughter like that? And I felt that was fucked. But I'm not calling you a pedophile. Do you understand?
Totally understand. Do you understand that it was obviously part of the controversial nature of the picture to post it under such context?
It started off.
Dude, his chat is crazy. It was fucked, mocking that. Has this guy ever been on the internet before? Fuck me, dude.
As a controversial joke.
Yes.
You didn't go through with it.
I would have never. I would have never.
You did draw a picture of Keemstar's daughter in kind of obviously she's not naked, but I do feel like there are sexual connotations regarding that picture. Would you agree?
Totally agree. Yes, totally agree. Colossal, I respect you a hell of a lot. And just man to man, if you think it would be better for me to take it down, I would take it down just out of respect to you.
If you could do that, I think that would be wonderful.
I'm gonna go do that right fucking now. I'm gonna take it down out of respect to fucking Colossal.
I appreciate you doing that.
I'm gonna go do it.
Oh my god, dude. Bro, this guy was getting the kid gloves. That's mental. When he's done something so fucked. Thank you for taking it down. I appreciate that. Bro, the guy's a fucking pedophile. Bro, I don't want to get into the Mama Max tier takes. But, yeah, that's nuts, dude, to me. How did he get away so easy?
Obviously, it's going to be fucking all over.
The picture is already out there,
yeah.
So I understand. Yeah. But I would definitely appreciate you doing that.
Cool.
Look, if you want to draw is it called lolly porn? Is that what you call it?
You could the term is lolicon, but whatever. It's a Japanese thing.
I don't know much about it, to be honest, but yeah, it's pretty fucking weird. Let's all agree, and I think you're kind of a weird guy.
I totally am. I that's my thing. I totally
you're
am.
A nice person, but you're a bit of a weird fuck.
I would not argue with that.
All right, that's fair enough. We've all got something weird about us. Yeah, the main beef I had was not really with you. Well, it didn't end up that way.
Free speech. The problem with the free speech perspective on this is he's not just doing something, he's distributing it. Right? The distribution changes the nature of it. From just, you know, like obviously, dude, this is such a fucking. I do defend free speech. I think there's some stuff that you can't make illegal, not just because of a free speech principle, but you can't legislate it, right? There's some things you can't legislate, like someone's thinking something. You can't fucking arrest someone for thinking something in their head. But then when they take an action, that then changes the nature of that, what's happening, right? So taking an image that you've drawn and putting it on the internet, there's a distribution happening there. And I'm pretty sure that distribution plays a role in a lot of crime for that reason, because the distribution changes the nature of the act, right? Oh, hey, DK. Just be Elden Ring DLC final boss based. No summons. Did you pause? Did you pause at all? But yeah, it's indeed. So I think the problem with this is there is obviously a complicated free speech dynamic to some of this stuff in terms of, you know, like if you think something or privately draw something, can you really arrest someone for that? Like, it's not even feasible to do so, regardless of what your perspective is on the speech conversation. But the distribution is what matters here. And I'm fairly certain that stuff like this, the distribution plays a role. There's, oh God, what is it? There's a standard in US law, for example. And I think distribution or something is one aspect of considering whether or not a crime has been committed, right?
It was kind of with the people who were defending you. It's just, why are they defending you for drawing a picture of Keemstar's daughter in this kind of sexual way? And it was it's very wrong that people were doing that.
I think they were more defending like the concept.
Around why people would defend you because of that.
I
really can't. Like, you didn't even really defend yourself. So why are people defending you for it? And I feel the only reason for it is people really need to get me on something. They really need to argue with me over something with me. And that was the only reason they did it. But look, I'm really happy that you kind of take it on board a bit. I'm not a social justice warrior or anything like that, right? You've seen my...
Oh, okay. Boom. The game is given away. Okay, I get it. I get what happened here. It's 2016. You don't want to be seen as an SJW. Oh, I don't want to be an SJW and go against free speech. Right, okay. So that basically serves to give cover to people like this freak to operate with a level of impunity from public backlash, because there's the principle of free speech, but it is not about free speech. You're distributing this imagery, which is in some countries illegal material, right? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, as much as sure, in 2016 there was this happening, Chris from Mr. Beast didn't end their support here. There were still tweets of them interacting and supporting them up to 2019, which is 3 years after this happened. So this doesn't really stand to say, even if you want to be critical of the retards that were defending this and giving cover to this at the time, Chris from Mr. Beast continued their support years after this. So it doesn't really work to be like, oh, well, everyone supported them back then. I'm presuming that this conversation likely led to more condemnation. When did Turkey Tom's video come out? Like, I'd imagine that probably had an impact in like support for this guy and the way people looked at this guy.
Videos, they're very, very, really insulting of other people. But I kind of draw the line here when it's with children, and certainly one of my friend's children brought into the mix.
No, I must admit, like the backlash was way harder than I thought it would be.
Look, obviously, when I made the tweet, I was like, I didn't necessarily intend to send you lots of hate. Obviously, like, I don't really care as much as I would for someone else sending them hate, because I'm against mob mentality. But it's like, in your situation, I was like, don't really care.
Dude, you can hear it. I'm against mob mentality. I'm not an SJW. Bro, dude, that is what the problem was. We don't want to be seen to be an SJW against speech. But you're dealing with someone that's drawing an image of an actual child in a sexualized way.
And then, but I didn't even list your name initially. And then, of course, I did respond with one of the messages which included your Twitter handle. So I do apologize for that. It's kind of a small...
What do you think of Tyron's video about Chris Tyson? Now you've seen more about him, I was just wondering. I mean, God, I'm trying to remember now. I feel like it's the Sunny V2 thing again, where it's like, if the points that... I mean, I watched that video, the other person putting it all together, and it's like, bang, it's right there. I think the Tyrone's video didn't really bring anything new to the table. There's a couple of posts which were like a bit suspect, but that was it, really. Yeah, it wasn't very strong. Like, clearly, my response to the new video is much stronger than Tyrone's video, and I think that's a product of Tyrone not putting enough meat on the bone, you know? But yeah, I can't remember. I mean, the fact it's so forgettable is probably an indication that there wasn't much there, right? Whereas with this one, I won't soon forget the crazy shit that I was seeing in the latest one.
Small apology you're getting from me, but you are getting an apology for that. I'm sorry you got some hate because of it. But at the same time, like, when you do fuck up like this, you do deserve to be called out for it. And I do feel that what you did was a bit fucked up. Do you understand?
I totally understand that. Okay, maybe I'm really desensitized to
press people.
Chud, you're wrong. He later explained he was being nice to get him to take the image of Keem's kid off his site.
Okay. I mean, no, I think that's post hoc coat. Clearly the tone here is, I don't want to be seen as an SJW for calling you out, right? Like, clearly he's using silk gloves here. I mean, that's cap, man. It's too soft. Listen, we're talking years old drama. It's not that big a deal. The reason I'm commenting about it is because it's like, it's just quite shocking that this softly approach was taken. Whereas I think now there'd be a lot stronger response and criticism, because although there is obviously concern about being seen as being an SJW and woke or whatever, it's like, I think there's just a much stronger line against this sort of thing. Sometimes people get a bit... I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But there's definitely ways people can go overboard with some of this, right? In terms of, like, I don't know, Call Me Carson say. Call Me Carson is a good example of that, where people went way overboard in criticizing what the situation was. Is it? Chris Tyson? Oh, I thought I changed it. Oh, sorry. No, I didn't. My bad. I'll take the L for that. That is an L. That is a big L. I didn't change the title elsewhere. No, I have. Sorry. Oops.
a lot of that kind of stuff. So I was saying this earlier in the stream that sometimes I go really far with things, and then I think like, this is not fucked up, but I can kind of see why other people would, and then the more I think about it, the more fucked up it becomes.
You seem like a really down-to-earth person, and I'm genuinely surprised. But no, good for you. I mean, I can only say thank you for taking it down. I certainly appreciate it. I know a lot of other people will appreciate it. People are still gonna criticize both of us for all of this shit.
Obviously,
but
yes.
I think we had a happy conclusion to it.
By the way, one more thing.
Bro, his chat as well. Like, Colossal is taking the most silk glove softly approach you can possibly imagine about a guy that's drawn a fucking pedophilic image of a real child. And his chat is still like, nah, fuck this guy, base shadman, fuck Colossal. Fuck me, dude.
Colossal, Chubbs and that other guy, Brad, you unfollowed. I feel really fucking bad about that because they clearly both seem to really look up to you. Like, I feel kind of bad that like they were not like defending me. I think more like they're defending the concept of that it wasn't like any nudity or anything. You know, like
I feel like their defense.
So why? Well, I mean, obviously this is year-old drama. I mean, I wasn't even fucking making content at this point. All I'm saying is I don't think you need to go all the way in the other direction. I'm just more commenting on the fact that this was the tone and approach that people had to this. And even this was too much for people in chat. Right? And I think it speaks to the fact that it is true that, you know, Shadman enjoyed support and popular support at the time, which meant that you couldn't go hard at him, even though what he was doing was totally and utterly unacceptable and despicable and wrong, totally wrong. Drawing images of real children in a sexualized fashion. It's just shocking, dude.
Was very misplaced.
Spinal BJ, you are a pedophile. If you're going to fucking talk about it not being legal, you're a pedophile. You're probably attracted to kids. Okay? Pedophile, 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 pedophile.
And yeah, I was a bit triggered by them.
Oh, he's drawing sexualized images of real kids. Oh, but it's not illegal though. Bro, do you think I give a fuck about calling the police? It's not about that. I'm saying it's fucked up and disgusting, dude.
Defending you a little bit. Maybe they didn't.
No, it's not just free speech, retard. Okay? He's distributing the images. It's not just a case of, dude, you're one of the pedos that was defending this guy back then.
Have the full context of this entire situation, because that image is literally on your website, and I go to this website. I'm sorry, I was a bit disgusted by what I saw, in fairness.
I expect people to be disgusted.
That's the top picture, and then you scroll down, and there's little naked pictures of cartoon pictures of children, the Addams family, that girl, Wednesday Addams, like, what the fuck? But anyway, probably not for me to judge. Well, it is for me to judge.
No, it is totally up for judging, I accept that.
All right. So, look, all I did was unfollow them. I'm not making an exposed video on them. I am talking a bit about them now, but like, I'm not really making any really huge inflammatory posts about them or anything like that. So they can lose respect for me for unfollowing them, but I'm not going to change my mind. I stand by what I said, and they can always say, like, oh, well, we just disagreed with you, and that's why you're unfollowing us. Like, what? That's petty, that's immature, that's the pussy way out. No, I'm sorry, but with a situation like this, and given the context of it all, the serious subject matter, I have to draw the line somewhere. And when it comes to children, I've got like a really soft spot for children, unfortunately. So when I see like this kind of shit, like
I've got a surprise. What was going on, dude? You're totally in your rights to find it disgusting. It's not having a soft spot for children. It's about having an abundance of caution. And also it's about making it so fucking pedos can't get their rocks off and have their fucking behaviour covered for. Fuck me, dude. Past clown, come on now.
Gets to me. And I think they knew that and decided to kind of jump.
The problem with this stuff is it's years old now. It's like, you know, what is this? Fucking 2016. So it's, you know, it's so in the past, but it's still just like hearing it now live in 2024. I've never heard this conversation before. It's insane. And it speaks to fucking the cover this guy got. It's mental. But again, doesn't apply to Chris from Mr. Beast. Obviously, Chris from Mr. Beast sported Shadman long past his combo, so the cover does not apply there.
Upon me anyways. And so I kind of feel like I'm very justified in unfollowing them. Maybe I'll follow them back in the future, but it won't be today, it probably won't be tomorrow, and it won't be for a while. And I think that's fair enough.
Absolutely.
But it's just an unfollow, you know, it's just an unfollow on.
No, that is fair, yeah. I mean, you know, this conversation is very eye-opening to me in terms of it demonstrates an attitude that was had towards him. But I just don't think you can apply it to Chris from Mr. Beast. That's the only thing. How much of this as well is because Keemstar was hated, do you reckon? Like, there's probably an element of it where people thought it was funny because they just thought anything that hurt Keemstar was based.
Twitter.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I taking it down right now, taking it down on Twitter too. And I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you're probably a busy guy with the podcast and all, so.
No, it's no problem at all. And thank you so much.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
So I just wanted to quickly just give you a little backstory and kind of point you in the direction if you're looking for more information on this. So the reason why this stuff kind of imploded wasn't really over the Keem stuff. I mean, the Keem stuff turned heads, But there, like the Daphne Keene stuff was way bigger. When she tried to take down his website, do you know who Daphne Keene is?
No, who's that?
So she played X2 in Logan. I think actually she's going to be in Deadpool next week. Like in one of the X-Men movies, when she was like a child or whatever, Shadman drew her, and then she actually saw it herself. So like, there's, yeah, people defend this stuff a lot and say like, oh, it's just a drawing or whatever of a fictional person. And then the Keemstar thing, well, oh no, that's actually Keemstar's daughter. Oh, and the Daphne Keene stuff is actually Daphne Keene. Oh, and now she's seen it.
Well, this is the point I was making. If it's a real person and they see it, that's going to potentially cause some harm mentally to them, right? Surely.
Yeah. So I think his website got shut down. And if you go back and look up like Chris Raygun and Elvis the Alien and guys you'd never expect this from, they were debating the free speech issue of this site getting taken down in the controversy.
Well, I think I do understand the free speech perspective, and I think there's some, like, if you think something in your head, you can't be punished for that, right? And then you draw something in your fucking bedroom by yourself. Like, is that free speech? We're getting close to it, I think. But then when you take that drawing and you put it on the internet, to me, that's distribution that takes it to another level. I think distributing it is the biggest issue in this, right? Personally.
And I don't think this argument would exist today. I think the minefield of defending a site because a person saw, like, disgusting images of themselves drawn, depicted as like as a minor sexually or whatever, whilst they're still a minor. Like, I think that's a minefield. I think if you say like it's a free speech issue now, that's like a quartering firm handshake tweet.
Yeah.
Like in the current day. But yeah, I totally see what you mean. Everyone kind of moved off of this, and your argument is correct. The Shadman stuff does go past it. So the criticism is different. But I've still taken plenty of shots at like Elvis and Chris Raygun back then, because it's mind-boggling the optics minefield they walked into.
Yeah, and what are I think you're friends with Colossal, but what's your take on Colossal's approach to this combo?
I think it's just not just Colossal. I think it's like everyone here handled this poorly. I think Clown is like the best example that I've seen so far. At least he said something. But like, I don't know how deep this goes. Like the guy who made Smiling Friends is like adjacently friends with that guy, or like his friends are friends with that guy. Like that crew, the Oni group was friends with Shadman. Like you'll find out like, oh, all these YouTubers hate Turkey Tom, and you're like, oh, is it the pyro stuff? No, they're friends with Shadman. Like there's a huge rabbit hole of like really weird behavior for like the longest time, and even still kind of to this day.
Yeah, okay. So I guess from what you're saying here is that although it sounds very weak looking back in the context of this is all fucked at the time.
Yeah, this was the most aggressive response at the time, like in that day and age.
I see. And everyone else was just defending or not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's very fucking unnerving to hear someone, I don't think it doesn't have to be blood sports, but to kind of like have an almost apologetic tone is wild,
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
No, hearing him say stuff like, well, maybe I'll follow him back in the future, but it won't be for... Yeah, no, it's cringe. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well, thanks for filling me in. Yeah, I mean, if people in chat were pointing this out, I wasn't 100%.
You could tell him yourself.
What, Colossal?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, wait a second. Is that announced yet?
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Okay, catch you later. Bye. Oh, it's not even that crazy. It's not even. No, it's nothing crazy. You got to see it. You're like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh. It's not a big tea drop. It's just something that's happening this weekend. Okay. It's not even that crazy. It's just one of those situations where you've maybe got a disagreement with some drama that happened 7 years ago, and you're maybe going to be on a show together to talk about another topic. Do you go in and detract and talk about that?
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank
But how
you
do
for
I
the
make
super chats.
money off depressed people?
Leaky logic.
There's nothing to spill. You'll see. You'll see. No, I'm not. No. Neutral ground. It's a show I've been on before. Anyway, dude, is it announced yet? I don't fucking know.
For doing that, I do appreciate it. I'm sure Keemstar will appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of other people will appreciate it. So thank you again.
Won't happen again. Have a nice day, Colossal.
And you, man. And you.
There you go, guys. Fucking, you can't resist the charm of Colossal. If he wants me to take it down, I never fucking take shit down. But for him, you know, I just learned my lesson here.
Stylo. Chud will subsume clown on EFAP. Stylo, you're too much of a schizo barbarian, dude.
Guys, I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna put this up today, and we're gonna forget about the whole thing. Okay? We're gonna forget about the whole thing. I'm gonna go back to fucking drawing Overwatch characters and fucking people who aren't real. I will still draw some things based on real people, but not on real people's innocent children. I'm done with that. Like that was a weird thing, and
bro, this dude got away with murder then, basically. Fucking hell. Dude, it's so nuts, man. Wasn't there a picture of him and he looks like he's a foreigner, I think. Have you watched the Turkey Tom video? I think I've watched it before, haven't I? I can't remember. Anyway, I kind of want to move on to something else. There's a bridge burning that's been missed that I want to talk about, which you're going to be interested in, I think. It's a bit, you know, I'm kind of a bit mixed on it because it's a reacception situation, but I think it'll be a good segment. I feel like everyone's missed it because no one pays attention to these people anymore. One because of a, you know, one because of a lolicon horse controversy, and another because they're a total retard with nothing worthy of being paid attention to. Come on, you can guess who it is. You know who it is. I've got a palate cleanser first though that I'll do, which has been requested by you know, beloved Chud chatter Nate Virgil. We're going to do a palate cleanser, a lolcow palate cleanser. It's not gun tent, no. You'll see. You'll see. I need to take a quick break first, though. Okay. Need to take a quick little break. Be right back. Gok tent.